this life was all I ever wanted.
I'm not leaving. Not yet.
I was hoping you'd say that.
We gotta hit the streets, make some money.
People like us must destroy people like him. Buckle up.
Get Showtime free at Showtime.com.
Francis Ngannou and John Jones, and in particular John Jones, are just chattering with one another. I'll ask you, BC, very flatly. Is this the fight to make at heavyweight while we wait for DC and Stipe? Is this the one?
Are you kidding me? Like, hell yeah. It's like, I don't want to open my Christmas presents early because it's only October. Oh, but you mean there's a car in the garage? Yeah, let's open it. Let's start it up now. It's like this is the ultimate gift to the sport to not only have John Jones finally fulfill the potential to fulfill his destiny at heavyweight, be a 2-division champion, inject some incredible must-watch elements to that division. Oh, but to do it against essentially MMA's Mike Tyson, who, oh, by the way, happens to be so hot right now with those 4 straight first-round KOs. I mean, Luke, it would be such a massive present. It's such a great fight. I'd almost be like, yeah, sure, strip Stipe. F the rules. F anything. Let's make this fight right now. The key is here, Luke, is it for real? Now, they did ask Dana Saturday at the post-fight press conference, and he did the whole, you watch Dana's mannerisms lately after the fights? Like, he's got the old man thing going. He can't really hear the questions. He's always like, wait, what? And then he's just sort of like, oh, I don't think those guys want that fight. They're just talking. Well, John's manager, Abe Kawa, did tweet out, no, John really wants that fight. I don't know if John really wants that fight. John has teased us publicly about fighting Stipe for years, about fighting a lot of people. But if you were able to make that fight, and you know what I feel about interim titles, throw an interim title, throw a real title, throw anything. Call the WBC, have them make up one of those gold LeMay titles that mean nothing, that cost a couple $1 million. Do whatever. This is a big time fight that's not just good from a pay-per-view interest, celebrity interest, but like, could John be a legitimate heavyweight? Imagine if John went in there and won. I mean, now you're like, are we going to see John Stipe for the full belt? Are we going to see John DC3 at some point for the full belt? Luke, I want to make one statement that I've made back in 2012, 2014, 2016. I'll make it again right now. Even with John's slow, diminishing skills, where his mind is still strong, as you point out, his defense is better than ever, but he's not the same explosive guy. I still think John beats every single heavyweight, including Ngannou. And I obviously understand that Ngannou is the most dangerous one because of the quick, hard strikes from any angle. I just think some of the diminishing qualities at light heavyweight, where John has to work extra hard to beat guys like Dom Reyes and Maheda and hold them off, that gap at heavyweight in terms of speed, reaction time, heavyweight doesn't deal with that kind of Mayweather-like IQ. Like, John Jones is going to go in there, Luke, and he's going to win the title and he's going to beat everybody. And that journey of watching him try to do that is going to be some of the most compelling fights this promotion and sport will see over the next few years.
Yeah, I mean, this is a super interesting one. I actually think that there's any number of reasons to do this fight, right? Number one, it'd be huge. That's enough to do what really in modern UFC, quite candidly. But beyond that, if you want more than it, put an interim title on it, make it for the number one contender, or a championship unification bout if you could get it done in short order, right? You're waiting for DC and Stipe to get going, and maybe that will take a while. In the meantime, these two guys appear to be, jawing at each other. And if Francis wins, he would deserve a title belt anyway, so that if he had a unification bout, he could get more money. That's just my opinion. So, at a bare minimum, it's a number one contender's bout. So that's another good reason to do it, because we would all agree if the champ from the lower weight class came up who has a win over the previous champion in that weight class in DC, surely he'd be reasonably competitive. Both fighters won it. Then on top of it, dude, that fight is very competitive. I know a lot of folks may not want to hear that, but it is really true. I take the improvements that Francis Ngannou has made seriously. They are real. Certainly his coaches believe his cardio is dramatically improved. But I don't think folks fundamentally accept the reason why John keeps winning despite what appears to be some offensive deterioration. As I've indicated on Dissected a number of times, he has extraordinarily high fight IQ and has lights-out defense. He is hard to hurt. He is hard to hit. He knows how to manage a 25-minute fight over 5 rounds. beautifully. We watched Mayweather on Friday Night BC. What do we say about that? That guy knows every inch of that ring, every way in which to press the gas, press the brakes, lean on the ref, and have the ref not be involved, whatever he needs. He knows how to command all of it. John Jones is exactly the same kind of way. Dude, he is a very tough matchup for Francis Ngannou. Now, Francis, who is a force of nature, I think it's fair to say is a tough matchup for just about anybody too. But you look at this fight, here's what I would say. I hope that Dominic Reyes gets a chance to get another crack at John Jones, or even Jan Blachowicz, or maybe Glover Teixeira. All those bubbas down at light heavyweight, they're doing great things, BC, and I know you agree. But there's no reason to not do John Jones versus Francis Ngannou. Belt or no belt, there's no good reason not to, and every good reason to do it. There's every reason, BC, if a promoter's making a fight and has to check the boxes, this one checks all of them.
And there's no reason to keep John at light heavy. There's no reason to fight Reyes a second time ahead. I say all these guys where, you may end up losing it. It's like when GSP, whenever we talk about a potential comeback for him, there's a reason he never came back and fought Woodley for the title. There's nothing to add there historically. At this point for John, I feel like the matchups will actually only get easier. And I know there's people that are hearing that going, what are you crazy? These are heavyweights. One punch can finish him. Yes, they can. But can we not act like John has a legendary chin? Luke, a legendary chin. Luke.
Massive. He is
legendary. John Jones does not get knocked down.
This is the thing. He doesn't get hit. And when he does get hit, he just rolls with it. It's unbelievable, the point you're making. So I agree. To me, dude, we have consensus on this one. I don't know when the right time is to make it. That's a different, scenario. But the sooner the better. That is the fight to make in the UFC right now. Okay,
does John really want it, though, Luke? That's the question. I'm going to interrupt you to say, does John really want it? You two have a history. Tell me the truth. Tell us all the truth.
I think it would appear to inspire him, if you take his social media messaging seriously, is OSP and the relative success he had at times against Ben Rothwell, which is sort of a crude way to assess how he would do. But I think also, he was saying, I'll fight Dominic Reyes again if the UFC makes it worth my while. But are they really going to do that? We had Henry Cejudo retire, and now his manager's coming out saying he's not really retired, which I don't understand why you would say that as a bargaining position. But again, you're seeing people try to take different tactics from Cejudo's retirement to John Jones saying this, well, he's got to make it worth my while. I tend to think the UFC might try that a little bit more with the Francis fight, maybe adding a belt on top. He's already got one, right? So he can have the two belts there. That's the kind of bling-bling that gets John Jones a little bit excited. Plus, if you look on his Instagram, dude's been deadlifting again, heavy weights. I think he's ready to finally make a move, because it's do the same thing you've been doing, or finally try something new. The quarantine and the pandemic is a time to make some changes, BC. I think he absolutely wants it.
Yeah, it's up to us as a people to make some changes, right? Change the way we eat, change the way we treat each other. Maybe shout out Jay for saving this show earlier. Maybe actually understand that John Jones did get that booty call in Albuquerque when he got pulled over. We can't avoid the truth. You know what I'm saying, Luke?
This life was all I ever wanted.
I'm not leaving. Not yet.
I was hoping you'd say that.
We gotta hit the streets, make some money.
People like us must destroy people like him. Buckle up.
Get Showtime free at Showtime.com.